Pensado's Place is brought to you by Vintage King, Avid, Recording Connection, and the Blackbird Academy.
Happy New Year, guys. We're coming back to you next week, but for now, we've got a really special show. Dan Frizsell, the proprietor of Legend Studio in Nashville, a place rich in context, rich in history. You're going to enjoy that. Dave went to his buddy Bob Horn, a guy that we really like. You're going to really enjoy that ITL. We're preparing to come back to you live and ready in 2014. Happy New Year. Rock and roll.
Recently, I've been telling you about the new microphone from AEA. This is part of a series of microphones called the Nouveau series. This is the N22. We're going to put it through its paces today over here at Echobar as promised. This mic does so many things well. One of the things I like about it is this is a handmade microphone made here in Pasadena, USA, for those of you guys that don't know where Pasadena is. And it's made by my dear, dear friend Wes Dooley. Wes is a pioneer and one of the great innovators, and probably no one knows more about ribbon microphones than Wes. Well, Wes has taken all that knowledge combined with incredible engineering and created something that didn't exist before. This is a ribbon microphone, so it has all the great qualities of a ribbon microphone that we've come to expect from those great RCA mics, the 44, etc. And this mic actually has ribbons very similar, almost identical to the 44. This microphone bridges the gap between a ribbon microphone and a condenser microphone, something that's never been done before. And when you listen to this thing, you'll know why that's such a unique thing. This microphone really sounds amazing. Phantom powered, by the way. No expense has been spared in quality, but yet it's affordable. So very affordable. They've decided that they wanted to create something for the guy at home who can't afford a lot of different microphones, and this microphone does everything well. It's got an enhanced mid-range, like I've told you before. It's got a lot of great features, but yet at the same time, a lot of pros I know are using this microphone. So check it out. Go to the AEA website. You'll see the website below, and check it out. We're continuing our little adventure here at Echobar. Owned by my friend Bob Horn and Eric Reichers, two excellent engineers. You've seen Bob on the show, and you've heard some of the stuff that Eric's been doing lately. So we're gonna record some vocals for you right now. Bob, before we run out there and record Jason, explain to me the signal path that we're using today.
Basically, we're going right from the N22 into this AEA mic pre. And then out of the mic pre into this retro 176 compressor, and then straight into Pro Tools, no mixing board or anything.
What do you like about the AEA preamp?
Well, number one, for ribbon mics, the AEA preamp has a lot of gain on it, and then my favorite thing about it has this kind of air band that really opens up the top end, which is good for vocals, trumpet, things like that. Kind of can take a warmer ribbon mic and kind of give it a nice shimmer like a condenser has, but still have that smooth ribbon sound to it.
So when you were playing with the N22, it has a lot of output though, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. It's I guess because it's phantom powered, it has more gain than a lot of ribbons. So
probably better top end too.
Yeah,
I thought it did. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So in terms of the level that I ultimately record, I don't want to depend on the preamp to give me all that level. I want a little bit of lifting at the preamp and a little bit of line level lifting down the line. Some preamps have that included, and sometimes you have to get that from a...
Yeah, if your preamp doesn't have a line level output that you can boost or cut, then it might be helpful to go through a compressor where you get an additional gain that you can boost. That way you're not overloading your preamp by doing too much gain on the preamp.
When you mix a lot, when you get a little bit of crunch on a vocal, would you guess that it's because they're usually making the mic preamp distort?
Yeah, it's probably a preamp that doesn't have a meter and they don't know they're distorting, and they just have it one or two notches too high, and vocal gets a little crunchy.
Overall, what's your impression so far about the N22 in terms of its ability to give you level?
It has a high output and really strong signal. I mean, it's great, and then matched with their preamp, even better.
Okay.
So yeah.
Coolio. Well, let's go make some records. What'd you say?
All right.
It's flat, right, Bob?
Yep. No EQ.
Okay, man, let's do this. I can't wait to hear Jason sing.
All right, here we go.
Jason Holloway.
I once fell in love with the superstar. Oh, she was shining, she was brighter than who we are.
Man, that guy can sing.
Yeah.
This is a new project for you, right? This is about,
Yeah.
When's this coming out? When can we?
I'm not sure of release date yet. His name is Hollowell, and
Jason Holloway.
Yeah, we're yeah, it's gonna be soon. Next couple months.
He wrote this. You wrote this.
Yeah, we both wrote it together.
Cool. Let's go do some acoustic guitars.
This is Eric Walls, guitar player, incredible,
Eric.
long-term friend.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Man,
Good to see you
I
guys.
was listening to you warm up, man. You're a bad man, man.
Thank you, man. We're just having some fun over here.
Hey, normally I like to capture this region in here somewhere
Bridge
between
area?
the right hand and the bridge. No, what do you like? What do you like?
I usually go where the neck meets the body. Over here is a brighter sound. Over here is more like a soloist
Okay.
kind of sound. But they're both
You know what?
good.
Set it up. Let's do 4 bars here and 4 bars here.
Okay.
Sorry,
Eric.
Dave. Say we're going to record 4 bars.
Okay. So let's do 4 bars here and 4 bars here and show them. Well, we know wherever you want the mic.
Okay.
And Eric, make me cry.
Noodly type thing? You said? Okay.
All right, let's see what this sounds
Eric,
like.
give me a little rhythm here. Do you know Kumbaya? let's gather around here, Brian. Julian, come on.
All right. Go ahead.
I'm kidding. Give me a rhythm, man. Give me the song where the dogs and the woman making me cry.
I got one that you back with though.
Very nice.
Hold on.
Yay!
Man, that's a lot of work. Let's go listen to that while I'm going more ballad sound. That sounds better than your sound. That sounds better than your sound. The dynamics where you had it were perfect, though.
All right, guys, we're gonna mic a snare drum now with the N22, and we're gonna put it kind of in the standard position you'd put any snare drum mic. And what some of you guys that haven't used ribbon mics may not know is this is a side address mic, whereas something like a dynamic 57 would be pointed like this. This mic picks up directionally, not like that. So this would actually be equivalent to the way most people mic snare drums. So let's see how this sounds. And it handles a lot of SPL, so we can get it nice and close. You don't have to be worried about being fragile with this one. So now I'm going to move the mic as Cole plays the drum. It's figure 8 bidirectional, so we'll actually see what happens when we get further away. We might pick up more of the ambience, more of the bottom snare. Go ahead.
Hey, Cole! You guys might recognize Cole Nystrom from one of the other ITLs. Good job, Cole. I thought his timing was immaculate. What did you think?
Considering there was nothing to play to.
Awesome. So you've heard the playback on acoustic guitar, you've heard it on vocals, and you've heard it on drums. What's your impression?
I love it. I actually want 5 or 6 of them. Can that happen?
Julian's right over there. We'll talk. Oh, they're great. So I'll tell you, one of my impressions was I'm real excited about the top end on this mic. I was expecting it to be smooth. I just didn't expect it to go out that high. It has a lot more top end than I expected.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, no, same.
Plus on the acoustic, it just added something that.
I liked it on the acoustic. It's a great solo acoustic mic for sure.
On Jason's vocal, I normally would add. Cole will tell you, he's my assistant in the studio. I normally add a mid-range component to my vocal sound. I didn't feel a need for it with this mic. It seems like it's got a curve that just fits the modern world so perfectly.
Yeah. It fit Jason real nice. It sounded great on him.
Man, that's a good-looking mic too. Plus, in an emergency, it would double as a weapon. I think you could nail with this.
Looks like a lightsaber.
Wes Dooley, great job, my friend. I wouldn't expect anything less from you. Guys, check this out. Check this microphone out. I think you're going to really love it. I think this is going to become a classic and a standard, so grab yours now before the price doubles. Or triples. All right, guys.
Yeah, so this is our tracking room, Legends. It's a Hidley designed room. It's built in 1978, so it's kind of the 70s dead room, which is awesome for vocals. We have sand-filled walls, concrete, double sheet rock, sound absorption. Everybody from Waylon to Jason Aldean has cut vocals in here. They come out spectacular. So we love the place. We have a great piano we're really proud of. It's the best Baldwin in Nashville, proclaimed by every piano player. James Artledge and Brent Artledge have really done a lot of work. New custom strings, custom voicing. It's just a great sounding instrument. Our drum room is something that's really special here too. It's deceptively large. Lots of cubic feet involved. We'll walk in and get an idea of the spatial aspect. It's a classic 70s drum room, but it is deceptively large because there's an enormous amount of cubic air in here, which is, everybody knows the ceiling affects the drums as much as the wall does. So we're fortunate to have about a 18-foot high ceiling in the drum room, so there's no early reflections on the kit. So the kit is really dry and really tight, but yet the drums breathe well because of the cubic volume of air. So with all the modern plugins, it's really easy, especially the UAD. Like if you want to cut it Ocean Way, this is perfect. You cut a tight, dry kit, throw it on the UAD Ocean Way plugin, and it sounds like literally exactly like Studio A. So it's awesome. Plus, if you want that tight 70s drums, we got it. So, but it's a super sounding room. We're really proud of this. One of our best sounds is in this room. So. Chips Moman, the legendary producer, this was his studio. He commissioned it, Hidley Design, had it built in 1978. So pretty much everything after Old Waylon was cut here. So Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, cut in this room. Willie Nelson cut Always on My Mind in this room. And it just goes on. The Highwayman record was cut here. So all of the legendary Chips Moman productions through the late mid-'80s was pretty much done here. You know, he cut exclusively. He had a really nice Harrison a beautiful Ampex, all of which was gone by the time I bought the place, of course, but that was his sound. So this was the room, and pretty much every modern drummer you can imagine is cut in here, from Eddie Bears to Chad Cromwell to Brewster to the list goes on, and they love to play in here because it's so comfortable space. You're not in a cavern of delay when the headphones from all the room sounds. So we like it. So this is our house B3 that is a really nice. We got the Leslie house Wurlitzer. All the stuff stays mic'd up, so we're ready to move fast. Nashville's all about speed, precision, and time. So everything you can do to make things move faster is good. So we have the house organ stays mic'd up, house kit stays mic'd up, house piano stays mic'd up. So we're all about speed. The other thing we're about is great sounds. So we also have a lot of house instruments here that the guys love to play. Like this is a local favorite. It's a 62 reissue made by Bluesman, which is a local company here in Spring Hill that makes amazing pre-CBS era guitars and basses, which this is the bass. One of the only companies doing basses. This is amazing. I've had top players come in, use it, go home and sell their originals and buy one of these because they are so good. Here's one of my other great 63 Jazz. Used to belong to Willie Weeks. Don't know that he played it on anything. I think he let his pet monkey paint it with a banana, though, is what it looks like. So, but I love that. It's got that worn, broke in, amazing neck, great sound. For our bass rig, we have a B15 in the other room mic'd up. We also use the Millennia TD1, which is probably if you haven't heard one, it's like taking a blanket off the speakers. It sounds great as soon as you plug up. We have a few house guitars. I hear. We've got some more Bluesman, actually, Telecaster Strats, which are just awesome. The guy makes incredible stuff. Got a lot of visual sound, provides a lot of our guys just pedals to try out. Ends up on a lot of records because you just reach over and try it. Some of my other baritone Les Paul, which is a rare, you don't see these things much, but it's actually a baritone. So it's kind of nice just to have around, or the stacking doubled low guitar parts and stuff. It's awesome.
Phew, man, this room, incredible, Dan. Thanks so much for having us. Pleasure to see you, my friend.
It's an honor to have you here, man.
I think a piece of my DNA is in here. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute, okay?
Yeah, there's a lot of DNA in here. A lot.
In fact, a big chunk of the music industry, some shoulders were in this room that we all stand on.
Oh, yeah. Chips was the man.
Well, Chips Moman, as you know, being a Southern man, probably the most underrated, gifted producer ever. I don't want to say this in a negative way, but I'm a huge fan of Muscle Shoals, but I humbly put forward, I think Chips and what he did was a bigger contribution to music than just about anything I'm aware of. All the great records from Elvis on down.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
Yeah. And the crazy thing, everybody thinks of the classic country sounds that were cut here, like Willie and Waylon and Mama Don't Let Your Baby Be Cowboys and all the classic. But at that time, that was the most cutting edge records being made.
Absolutely.
That was as forward thinking as you could possibly get. You know, that was so advanced. And now it's like, oh, that's the classic stuff. But the reality was the guy was way out front. The music, the sounds, everything was
just the concept of having a team of gifted writers, musicians, and creating that one-stop shop concept started here.
Yeah.
Muscle Shoals probably was maybe a hair before, but I think bigger records came out of here.
Yeah. I mean, it's mind-blowing from the Highwayman record alone, the fact that Willie and Waylon and Christopherson and they all were right here singing on the 87s that are in the My Closet or up or wherever Ben has them set is crazy. You know, it's.
Let me ask you something, Dan. I think that the first professional console I ever used and worked on came from here. It was an old Electrodyne.
Yeah.
Elvis Presley cut Suspicious Minds on that console, and I think Chips brought it from Memphis, or he went from here to Memphis. Which way did he go?
He came from Memphis to here in
and I think he brought the Electrodyne with him, set it up, dumped it, and put the Harrison in.
Yeah.
And my boss, Phil Benton, bought it.
Yeah.
And that was I still have pieces of that board.
Yeah. Just imagine the mojo in those electronics
You know
that's
what?
still echoing.
They're making a 500 series of the EQs now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Did you
EQs
let them model yours?
No.
But see, yours still has the mojo.
Well, it wasn't mine personally. Phil Benton and Paul Davis were the owners of that particular studio. It's called Monarch in Alpharetta. So if I tear up, just give me some legend tissue.
Yeah, we got a roll. It's good. A big roll.
Yeah. I'm
it's
pretty sure. I won't say 100%, but I can't imagine how it came from Memphis to us.
Yeah.
So I think it came from Memphis to here, then to us.
Yeah. The records at that time are really vague. Even album credits are very. It's like forensic tracking down who cut where and when. You talk to 5 different players and they all remember it different. And but we try to go off consensus facts if we can.
Man, while we're in memory lane, what are some of your favorite records that were cut here?
Well, everybody like Poncho and Lefty. I mean, how many times have you heard that record?
Townes Van Zandt.
Yeah, Townes Van Zandt.
Writers.
Yeah, his stuff cut here. It's just you go back and listen to the thousands of times you heard the Dukes of Hazzard theme was cut here.
No.
Yeah, I mean the crazy. So it's just like
Did the Highwaymen as a group cut here, or just individually?
No,
so
the record was cut here. Yeah.
Wow, that's one of my all-time favorite records.
Yeah, it's crazy. We got pictures of some of the guys hanging out and stuff, and you can tell the walls still look the same. Everything's the same as it was. We've updated the control room a little, but the other rooms you can totally tell where it is, and it's
was Dirt Road, Jason Aldean, was that done here?
The original, the first Jason Aldean record was done here. We did all the vocals and stuff here for that record. They tracked it at Treasure Isle, which is one street over, and then Broken Bow owned this facility at that time, and so we did all the vocals here for that first record. So that was Hicktown, that kind of those, Y and that kind of stuff on that the original record. So we did it, and then. Other modern, we've done Lee Bryce and Craig, all like the last 3 Craig Morgan records done here. The American Young new thing coming out. Chris Jansen's new single. The list is pretty. We're still trying to be on the cutting edge.
Well, let's be clear. Just because a room was great a long time ago doesn't mean it's old-fashioned now.
Right.
Great is great.
Right.
And when you have a room like this, I mean, just talking in this room, you feel it does something. Yeah. My assistant Cole's over there shaking his head. Yes, something is really unique in this room, and I'm not being insulting, but it's a testament to old-fashioned trial and error and redneck ingenuity. This room is like you can feel how it was cobbled together, and that didn't work. Okay, let's fix it. And man, don't touch it.
The emphasis is on sound, not aesthetic. So it's not
it still
like
looks good though.
Yeah, but it's not the marble palace of. You walk in and everything's all shiny and pretty, and it's that you walk in and you want to sit down and play music, and that's what we want. We want people to be relaxed.
What makes it through the record is not what it looks like, but what it sounds like.
Right.
And I don't know that I've ever been in a room that just talking sounds so good.
Yeah.
In fact, if I talk too much, because I like hearing myself.
Well, yeah, we know. Yeah.
My man. That's cool.
I've been watching the show for years, so.
Oh, wow, that's too bad. And you still let us come by?
Well, yeah.
Wow.
I'm a real fan, not just a...
Man, thank you so much. Because the reason Herb and I are here is we really love everything about Nashville. We live in a bipolar world, and sometimes I wish I could do just plug-ins and dance music. Sometimes I wish I could do country music. Nothing is actually completely. It's like food. Yeah. Some days you want a cheeseburger. Some days you want a real nice meal.
Yeah.
I envy you guys what you're doing here.
Well, I think the thing that makes Nashville so special is, L.A., New York has great engineers, great studios, and everything, but Nashville, it's the guys that play. I mean, it's still a place you can walk in a room with 7 guys, they sit down, and in 15 minutes you have a record that's making you cry. Yeah. In 15 minutes, it's done.
I saw a Hank Snow record go down years ago. It was written, performed, played, produced, and mixed in 4 hours, and I'm pretty sure it went gold.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was like, That
Yeah.
let me know that I love Nashville, but my skill set might not work here. I'm a decent guitar player, but
Yeah,
these guys are on
oh.
another level.
That's why
They have
I'm on
memory.
that side of the glass. I started on this side of the glass as a bass player, jazz
Oh, yeah?
studies degree, everything. Got to Nashville, struggled, then decided,
Where
you know what?
Where'd you grow up?
Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh,
So
I love Asheville.
went to UNCA, graduated with recording arts and jazz studies degree from there. Moved straight here, in the back, all my stuff in the back of my truck. Didn't know anybody. I mean, not one person in town. Drove in, and just said yes.
Tell me if you think I'm wrong. An observation I've had since childhood about Nashville is it's the only place musically where everything starts from the song up. A lot of other musical forms start from various elements of the process.
Right.
And the song is constructed. Nashville seems to have always understood the importance of songwriting and songwriters, and the song is created first, and that dictates who plays on the song, who sings the song,
Yeah.
how it's recorded, how it's mixed, how it's promoted. And I don't think any other musical form or genre actually does that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the uniqueness of Nashville, and I think that's the success of Nashville now, is that people are dying for great songs.
Yeah. Yeah, we all are. I mean, they're out there. The best songwriters in the world live in Nashville, and we hear their songs
statement.
every day.
True statement.
And they're, even if you think there's not any great music being made, it's being made. You just have to go find it.
Yeah.
It's there. There's millions.
There's great songwriters around the world. The way I would say it is Nashville has the greatest collection of songwriters.
The highest
concentration. There you go.
Of amazing writers and players and
And a
engineers.
big chunk of those guys went through this room.
Oh yeah, yeah. With the writers we've had is stupefying. Everybody from Dean Dillon to Rodney Clawson to everybody cuts.
Another thought is, kudos to you. You support the writing process here as much as the finishing process. You
Yeah.
support every part of the process.
Right.
here.
Well, and it supports us. I mean, Nashville's a songwriter-driven town.
Mm-hmm.
So, every studio, a major part of your book is just working with songwriters. And if it's not, you're not going to be open long. If you're not,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you're not, and that's where the masters come from.
Mm-hmm.
So many masters these days, especially, they just take. It's the same players, same studios, same pre's, same mics, same everything. So a large number of things are just upgraded. That's a reality. Shh, don't tell anybody that. But there's no difference quality-wise from a demo to a master other than how long you spend on it.
The difference is
Technical.
sometimes the guy that did the demo doesn't get the credit, but we'll go there later.
We won't talk about that. But
Another observation, you've got the advantage of seeing and working and feeling a room that has a strong connection to the past. You're in the forefront of the future. Give me a quick paragraph about the health of Nashville right now. From an outsider, a jealous outsider looking in, it seems like there's a little bit of shifting of the old guard. There's a little bit of new country coming in, older country still being popular. How is Nashville assimilating all of that into one unified Nashville?
There's a unfortunate aspect of that of people are just aging out. We're getting new label executives. We're getting new heads of A&R. It's just people are aging out. So there is a collective changing of the guard. Producers are not producing. Younger guys are getting a chance to actually make records. And I think that's helping evolve what is country music.
Is the audience participating in this change in terms of what they're demanding?
There is definitely a far more rapid response from the audience. Because like now, we could sit down with you today, cut a record on Dave, and by next Thursday, it's on iTunes. We're getting feedback. We're streaming it on Spotify. We know right away.
I like that. Herb, can I stay till Thursday? Do my record? Okay, just checking.
Yeah, we'll get you in.
Right.
Yeah, we can do it. But
that should pretty much put an end to this legend, but I'm an anti-legend.
It's infamous now. We have to change the studio name to Infamous Studios.
I mean, from your personal opinion, I don't want to get you in trouble, but from an outsider, I think there's a certain healthy thing to that,
Well, yeah.
I firmly believe that we should respect and keep slots for everybody, but it seems like the audience's taste is much broader and needs a much broader
and that's what
to serve it.
That's what I crave in all genres is diversity, but that's Nashville went in a rut, it seemed like, in the 90s, the Garth Brooks era of 18 million sales. And then every label's, we need a guy with a hat. Give me a guy with a hat, and all of a sudden everybody's chasing each other. Where today it feels a lot more, do you have a chance for like American Young, something completely different, to have a shot to break through, because it's such with the multi delivery mediums, everything from the internet to radio, you're not just dependent on top 40 anymore. So
on songs like Cruising, which spent 20-something weeks at #1, the remix has Nelly on it, which helped drive that. Dirt Road's got Ludacris on it. Is that a healthy thing, or is that just natural growth?
I think that whatever doesn't kill me makes me stronger. So
are you for that?
Well, I think it helps bring some other people maybe to hear country music, like my cousins in Connecticut that have never heard, and then they hear Cruise and they're like, hey, that's great. What was it? So then all of a sudden they'll start listening maybe to some other acts. On the flip coin, my dad's generation, they're off goes the radio. That what has typically been our core audience, all of a sudden, you're alienating the guys who bought the Willie records. They're not into that necessarily, so it's a catch-22, it's the...
Is there a place where that particular audience can go get what they still want?
It's tough because that audience doesn't have the internet chops necessarily, and they don't have the demand. It's that nobody buys those kind of records. Well, nobody buys those records because Walmart stopped carrying records.
But didn't we go through this same thing 20 years ago when Waylon and Willie and all those guys came in, and the George Joneses got left out, and Tammy got left out?
Yeah, Barbara Mandrell, who? Yeah, exactly.
So it is natural growth in a way, isn't it?
Right, and looking back 20 years from now, Florida Georgia Line will be classic country, and that's what's going to be all the naysayers are going to have to deal with. It's like...
And we'll be talking about EDM country.
Right. By then, who knows what? Is it
rap
dub
EDM
country? And, you don't know where... But hopefully, there's... Every studio in town has a machine sitting on the console. So, I mean, that is an integral part of what we're... It's like, we were talking songwriters. It's like our job as... on that end of songwriting demos and to be pushing the envelope, because we were doing the FGL stuff 3 years ago, 4 years ago, before it ever came out. We cut a bunch of, we cut several things on their record here, doing that sound well before anything dropped, before that became the thing. We were doing it, so as not just us exclusively, Nashville. I mean, it was, so right now it's still evolving. We're trying to find the next thing. So you can't just sit on your laurels and go, okay, we need to put hand claps and whatever on everything we cut now, because that stuff's selling. But now we're on the creative side. We're trying to, the writers are writing out front, we're cutting out front, we're trying to be the next thing. That's the hard part.
Sometimes I don't really realize that I talk different than other people until I'm in California, and I don't think people in Nashville understand that the records that they don't think are country, the rest of the world still perceives as country. They're still country records. There ain't no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah.
Friend.
Yeah.
I think that because they live here and because they hear the accent, they get accustomed to one thing.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, when those of us that are in different parts of the country now hear some of what you're calling the new guard, it's still country.
Oh, yeah.
That nobody needs to worry about.
The lyric is still country, for sure. And that to me is country music. It's content more than sonics defining the genre. It's content of message that makes our songs.
Yeah. The one thing that's kind of weird is the country lyrics now, they're talking about pot and stuff. I'm not sure that
Have you met Willie Nelson?
Yeah, but he didn't do songs about it.
Oh,
smoke blowing out the window.
Yeah, there's some. They were go back. There's some pretty risque.
But that's a great point.
I mean, they're known.
Why should we think of Nashville as being different people? I mean, people are people, and I mean, you make a good point, my friend.
As we know, you're in the business. It's the way it is.
I do miss my PBR songs, but what can you do? They're still around. I'll find them.
Yeah.
So recently, what have you been doing here that you want to share with us?
We just did Chris Jansen's new single that's out.
Oh, cool. Is there another FGL scoop that you can hit me to that
not
hard to predict?
I'm trying to. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, Joey that produces that stuff is such a he's a mad scientist. You know,
What's his background? I don't know him from
Canadian Nickelback production. He produced Nickelback, cut all that stuff.
Well, there you go. That's the problem. Canadians shouldn't be working in Nashville.
I didn't say that. We accept all kinds. I do a lot of Canadian records. I love those people.
I'm just teasing. Herb's Canadian.
Yeah, but they're, you know, he's a mad scientist. Like the stuff we would cut here, he would take it back to his lab and just, you know, slice, dice, and just do his thing with it. And that sound is his sound. I mean, that those records is just how, you know, he's a driving force. So I don't know what he's got in store for the next record, but I'm sure it's gonna.
One man's mad scientist is another man's plug-in no tape asshole. So is that you're comfortable with that?
You know what? Here's the reality. Analog's a state of mind, not a technology.
I love that.
Say
that again, man.
Analog is a state of mind, not technology. If you have, just because you have 100 tracks doesn't mean you need it. Yeah. The way you approach the drums, the way you approach the vocal, the way you approach everything, those of us who learned pushing tape, you know, we're fortunate to have.
I agree.
When tape was $100 a roll and everybody used it, we got to learn how to do it. These days, even if you buy a machine to find quality tape, to find the resources to be able to...
Two batches that match.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a totally different world now. It's the main reason I don't have a tape machine is just it's too inconvenient. But it's the way you approach music from an analog perspective is far more important than the technology you're using. I mean, the reality is Pro Tools is a tape machine. It just happens to have plugins that you can mess the sounds up with. But the reality, sound goes in, sound comes out. It's a tape machine.
At the end of the day, all we do, I got a buddy, he says that at the end of the day, all we do is we just make things lighter, louder, softer, brighter, darker.
Yeah.
That's all we do.
Yeah, make them last longer, make them shorter. That's all we can really do at the end of the day. So
my buddy Craig says that. It's so true. There's not much else in between.
Yeah, everybody, I love your guitar, my guitar, man. What are you doing? Nothing. No, really, what are you doing? Nothing. What compressor are you using? None. What are you?
Hold
Nothing.
We need to edit that out. I mean, you just dropped my rate in half, man. I do tons of miracle things that you can't do by yourself. In fact, it's dangerous.
I'm talking tracking, not mixing. Now, mixing, we do a million things while we're mixing, but tracking, we don't do anything.
I mean, things could explode. Pro Tools is like dangerous. You got to hire me. It's not.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you don't have a professional,
if you put the wrong two plugins back to back, you'll blow your rig up. A lot of people don't know that.
It's true right now. I found that out last week.
Yeah, good. So we know we're not sharing.
I'm going to tell you which two it is, but I'll tell you off camera so you don't do it when you get home.
I'll share with you my experiences too. Well, man, listen, I can't thank you enough for having us here. I know we interrupted your schedule, but like I said, I felt comfortable the minute I came in because whatever it is I do well, probably a little. I'm still using electrons that came from this place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man. And I know the history. I know that you actually saved this place.
Yeah.
And everybody in Nashville owes you, everybody in the world of music that loves music owes you a sincere thank you for doing that.
And book a day or two. That would make up for it.
You know what? Yeah. That's very true. If you're anywhere in the area, his rates are very affordable. And do book this place. That's what's going to keep it going. And if you're a politician, it's your responsibility to keep things like this going. This is our heritage. All great forms of music start from the South, and we have to. Not really country, blues, jazz, rock. I can't say folk music, but.
Well, you said all great forms. Yeah.
I love this guy.
I'm gonna go in the control room and see what we have in there.
What's original in this room and what's added?
There was originally theater style red curtains around this back, like you would have in a movie theater, and so I changed that out. This is pegboard. Behind it was just white pegboard. And, it's like, the million
703 behind the pegboard.
Yeah, it's that classic. So I just put, a fabric on it just to dress it up so it doesn't look, but that classic pegboard early Hidley design, It's a low ceiling, which is unfortunate.
Well, this is actually a compression ceiling. Yeah. It's actually a quad ceiling, which oddly enough made a better stereo ceiling than a quad ceiling.
Yeah.
I don't understand the concept behind compression, nor do I care to learn.
Yeah.
Was that done here?
He was a dear friend of mine, and
The guitar player?
yeah, and he signed that to me. But I did cut the last Marshall Tucker stuff, some overdubs for them that George McCorkle played on. I did his parts here. They did the rest of the record in South Carolina, and I sent it back to him. But that was before we didn't even know he was sick when I found out at a yard sale, and I'm like, oh, dude, George, and I had him sign it one day when he was in. I didn't know he was sick, and nobody knew he passed so quickly. But he was a great guy, great golfer,
Man, my heroes don't play golf. Actually, one of my mentors, Paul Davis, was a great golfer.
Yeah.
So, give me some anecdotes about Legend Studios that I couldn't find on the internet. Give me were there any gunfights here? Were there any? Did Waylon?
Let's preface
did the Highwaymen
this.
actually get along?
Let's preface this with the allegedly. We're going to start everything with allegedly.
This better be good.
This, if anybody needs to use the restroom, is the toilet where the DEA followed a package to a certain outlaw country singer session, and they were stalled at the door as the large package of flour-like substance was flushed down a toilet. Allegedly, there's no proof of anything, but allegedly that was here in the day. And it's kind of, there's been the cops have there's been a lot of parking lot antics. Berry Hill has its own police force, so these guys are awesome. They are on it. So, I mean, if somebody
awesome in terms of
when you own
catching contraband, or awesome
as far as like misbehavior.
Like some musicians would think that's horrible. So.
Well, they're cool. But like if you leave the studio in an accelerated fashion, you're going to get pulled over. I mean, and we've watched people do it. It's hysterical. They think they're so the modern sessions are a little more tame than I think than the older stuff. Now we're just kind of, there's a lot of just joking and ribbing, and John Willis is a resident victim of a lot of harassment.
John,
yeah, we let to, the machine's a great tool for harassing players. If you ever have live players, all kinds of vocal samples, but I really enjoy the 1 and 3 clap while they're trying to play like a real swampy groove. Just clap on 1 and 3 in their headphones, then start slowing down, so that they're like, it's just, eighth note behind.
I bet John keeps going like a metronome, though.
But I can watch him on the camera system laughing. So that's my goal. That'll be my goal tomorrow night, is to make John double over in laughter at some point during the conversation. So
I got to tell you, I'm a Willie Nelson fanatic. I mean, not every day, let's be serious. Quite often I hear a song that he wrote that I never knew he wrote. He wrote so many genres, and so many of his songs have been covered. I just don't know where that man gets that inspiration from.
What blows me away is, like, I saw him playing like with hardcore swing jazz, and then it all makes sense. Everybody, like, his soloing is so
I think
unique.
That's that Texas thing.
Yeah, and you watch him play with a real swing band, and it's just then you go, the clouds open. You go, the man, his phrasing is genius. The way he pockets things, and it's out of that Texas.
I'd love to see him do something with Bob Willis. Has he ever done anything with Bob Willis? And the Texas Playboy?
I mean, he's done everything. He's done it with everybody. I think. I'm sure he has. I would hope. But if not, we can work it out. We'll get him on the phone.
When you think about the Highwaymen and those personalities, they had to have not gotten along. I mean, how can you have 4 people agree on anything when they have that strong of personalities?
I think it was a timing thing. I think that point in their careers that they had matured to the point. If you tried that in '73, it probably would have self-destructed.
Well, just from a choice of drugs alone.
Yeah,
I mean, that was probably a 5-hour discussion.
Yeah. What are we taking tonight, fellas? Is this going to be an up or down show? But that alone, but I think by what was it, 86 when they cut, somewhere in there, 85, 80. I think by then they were to that point of their careers where they had figured it out. They knew how, they're all veteran touring, they're veteran everything, and it was so much fun for them just to, you know.
So what was the, when you bought the place, was the Harrison still here?
Unfortunately, by the time I bought the place, the Harrison was gone, his Ampex was gone, the Studer that was here after that was gone. All that was left was a Rain Dirt console at that point, which is more of a mixing console, a post.
I'm not familiar
it's a
with that.
British console. It's
That's not a nickname. That's the real deal.
that's a real deal. Yeah, apparently Aerosmith cut on them, was their claim to fame. I wasn't a fan, so I went complete modern direction. I've got 48 channels, analog summing, dangerous, and SSL. I've got, you know, every preamp flavor you can imagine, from Neve to Shadow Hill to Hardy's to you name it. That way, I like to have the big box of colors, not one big crayon. I like to have the 64 box. So my kick drum gets the Avitas because it's just something better than a 1073 about that pre to me, on that mic in that room, on that, you know, it's everything reacts. So I'm able to, I'll buy a new pre and try it on everything, and I've got the best players in the world, so it's a fair trial.
We were just talking to some Blackbird students, and I don't think they know how much experimentation and mistakes and trying stuff and then you have to memorize all that stuff.
Yeah.
In terms of all the mic pre's, I've always been kind of curious. Is there a formula? Let's say you've never heard any of your mic pre's, and you're familiar with all your microphones, and the classic 47s, 251s, C12s. What mic pre would be just your first choice for those types of mics? Because I get to mix the end result, and I think a lot of the fuzz and hair and fungus I hear on my vocals is from a mismatch between those older mics and the new mic pre's.
Right.
What's your go-to philosophy on picking a mic pre?
I like the color, literally, like if it's silver. But then after that, I'll go back and.
Whoa. You can't, like say Mog, you can't use a blue mic pre.
Yeah, right. You don't want, I mean, is it.
So you never use a 1073 because they're some kind of nebulous blue, gray, green
color.
If
you can't define a primary color on the front of it, you know, that's not
well,
my
there
go-to.
you have it. I mean,
that's the
there's
secret.
your scoop right there.
No, it's like you say, it's all about harmonics.
Most men are colorblind, right?
You're
So
right.
doesn't that hinder an engineer in his pursuit of perfection?
Well, that's why some of us succeed, I guess. I never realized.
Okay, if you don't want to share, just say, Dave, I ain't going to share crap out here. This is my livelihood, and if you want to learn this shit, figure it out yourself, big boy.
No, I think, to me, a lot of the pre's, it's the harmonic content of the pre. So, you know, it depends on the singer and the style, too. I mean, this is like if I start with this, I know where I need to go.
But you wouldn't use that on a vocal, right?
Oh, yeah. It's
He's pointing to the 737.
737 SP,
Avalon.
the old school.
This is my favorite bass preamp.
Well, it is great, and I'll tell you, Snare, try it.
I like the EQ on. I like the compressor and the EQ on Snare.
It's a great snare channel, but to me, this is my ear mics. I know this pre so well. When I plug a mic into it, I know where I need to go. So then I can go, well, you know, it's kind of thin. I could use let's go to the Neve, try that. Oh, let's go to the Shadow Hill. Let's go to, but that is my reference for, I just know it so well. It's kind of one of the, you know, it's something you know how it sounds. So then it'll define a mic for you as far as what you need to do when you hear that voice or that instrument. You can move from there.
Would you ever use a tube preamp on a tube mic? Or would
yeah.
you? So there's no negative about that. Some people think there's something negative about that.
I think think there's something negative about a lot of singers. But to me, if it feels great while it's going, I don't care what it's going through. If it's going through a Mackie or it's going through, I've cut #1 records on ADATs, black ADATs in my basement through a crappy 32.8 Mackie. the song is what matters, not the singer, the guys playing. That's what matters. We do it for us. The end users mostly listening on earbuds on the free version of Spotify, streaming the lowest possible bit rate that you can get for free, and that's how they're listening to
Let's
it.
don't change that. That gives me an advantage. It levels the playing field out for those of us less talented and have to work in less legendary studios.
Yeah.
My studio right now is beautiful, but I have no legend quality to my studio. If I keep working another 30 years, I'll be my own legend in my own studio.
That's true. If I'd done the records you've done, then I wouldn't be having to work.
Oh, thanks. Jeez. I was digging for a compliment. You're a sharp man. You know the engineer code inside and out. Hey. All right, Dan. We got that Nashville batter's box going.
Yeah.
You got a lot of weight on your shoulders. You represent the entire town and musical community here.
Yeah.
Let's jump right in. Banjo.
Banjo. U87 and or a KM54 with an auto wah.
Man, he's been practicing. I gotta slide one in on him. Vocals.
Sound Deluxe U95.
Okay. I'll take that. Backs.
Backing vocals.
Backgrounds.
Anything. Anything. Yeah.
Okay.
U87's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bass.
A B15 and a Millennia TD1 combination.
Cool. Acoustic guitar.
KM54s through a good 1178 stereo always.
Acoustic piano. The one out there.
The one out there right now is KM84s. That's always a
really?
Yeah, it's always a evolution, but I'm really liking them now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Overheads.
KM84s.
Wow.
Can't go wrong.
Favorite plug-in?
Right now it's probably the UAD 800. I mean, cool. It's
your island piece of gear.
Island piece of gear, SM57.
808.
In Nashville, it's like 808.
You gotta slide one in on you.
No, it's gonna be like the when we have them, it's a lot of low pass filter. Just get so it's not in the way of all the other goodness going on. We just want that absolute bottom.
Well, my friend. You won.
Thanks, Dave. No.
Right.
Yeah, right. No, I didn't win.
Yeah, you did.
No.
Man, I'm not happy. I want to hear more dirt. Tell me another story. Come on,
should I tell about the black Lexus?
Yes.
That's not a broadcast worthy.
Tell him he can edit it.
Oh, that's not that might be mean though.
Nah, do it. Change the names to
I won't give any names, but the level of experience sometimes that is amazing that we deal with on sessions.
Lack of or?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that with client, because we have the best musicians in the world. I mean, literally at any given moment, the players cumulatively, easy for me to say, will have sold 200 million records. The talent sitting in the room, and then you have a green artist that comes in and they talk to them like they're dogs, and then they start slinging around studio lingo they've picked up somewhere that's like we're like mid trying to track this song, and this poor artist is like kept saying, "Oh, don't worry about it, we'll just fix it in pre-production," and then it's just like, and it's like, so now that's, you go anywhere in Nashville, that's a saying. It's like, we'll fix that. Well, don't worry about it, man. We'll just fix it in pre-production.
You know what? All of you people that are watching this video, let's make an effort to make that a standard. A standard request. Anytime you go to any studio with anybody, I think you should start it that way, and then blame it on my man Dan over here. Yeah. I was doing a session, and I had the top label executives in the session. A mid-level label executive looks over at me and goes, "Do you think we could speed that up 1 or 2 dB?" I looked over at Ron Fair, and Ron Fair gave me that look. If you laugh, I will kill you. Just don't say anything. So I said, I think we can do that. And so I sped it up. I said, I think that's a couple of dB. Actually, I didn't say that. I want to embellish the story, but I did speed it up without embarrassing the man.
Yeah,
it happens. But that's okay. And by the way, if you're watching this at home and you're thinking about coming down here, the vibe and the camaraderie and everything is great. Just don't act like you know more than you know, and these guys will take care of you like you've never been taken care of. How many sessions do? And to you, this sounds like just routine question, but the people that aren't familiar with Nashville, the top guys, they can do 2 or 3 sessions a day, can't they?
Every day. They'll do 15 a week.
Be home for dinner.
Well, they may swing home for dinner. But Nashville, just so you guys know, the union set up years ago, it's 3-hour blocks of tracking. So it's a 9 to 1, 2 to 5, 6 to 9. And then 10 to 1. It just keeps going if you want to go all night.
You got to go double when you
Right. You start getting, it's like a monkey peeing in a cash register. It starts running into money quick at that point. So you want to stop.
Whoa. I have a new phrase. Teach me that one. A monkey
peeing in a cash register, because it's going to run into money quick. So anything like that starts just escalating. It's craziness. So, but yeah, so...
No. We ain't getting off that. A monkey peeing in a cash register?
Yeah.
Does the type of monkey matter?
No,
and who's the monkey?
It doesn't matter.
Any monkey?
The critical part's the urine. Because it's running into money. That's the key.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I lost my complete train of thought. and I used to live here. I know these things. But that one caught me off guard. I haven't heard that since I left.
Yeah, there's a million of them here. That's
million and one.
That's a part of the vernacular is you have to be quick. As an engineer, it's about bedside manner. And if you can crack jokes, make the client comfortable, make them laugh, get their mind off of everybody in the world staring at them, they're more likely to relax and give you a performance. So it's good to have those little quippy.
Let's talk a little bit about session musicians, because a lot of people, including myself, I thought if I practiced enough, I wasn't a bad guitar player. If I practiced enough, I could walk into Nashville and blow these rednecks away and just be a session player myself. And I watched a session and gave up. I didn't even try. That's how amazing these guys are.
Yeah.
They can come in, and I've seen it happen over and over again. Never having heard the song, you hit play and record, because probably by the time they get to bar 4, you're going to keep everything and guess the bridge, and play flawless and give you inventive stuff. And what I couldn't do was, if the producer said, "Can you go back to bar 51? I think there's a little bit of a glitch there." I'd go, "Really? Can you play it back? What did I play? Let me hear what I played there." I mean, these guys.
They're all like that. They self-police so well. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you try to catch them. It's like you try to get something on them before they can tell you they need it. So it's like as soon as this track stops, you're like, "Hey, you need to get we get the second bar of the bridge for you," and they're like, so it's a race. Because they just know. It's scary, and that's... If you're going to work in Nashville, a tip to the students out there, you have to learn music theory. Mm-hmm. It's like saying, I'm going to go be a brain surgeon, but I don't want to study anatomy. I'm just good with a knife, so I'm just going to cut on you. It's in Nashville, if they say, "Get me on the 3 minor," and that's all they'll say.
Well, that brings up a good point. The number system here, you got to learn that, because nobody says chords. You say it's a Roman numeral number system, and that way you can transpose keys instantly.
Yeah.
And you might have to transpose the key 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And you can't just whip a capo on. You got to know how to play this stuff.
And as an engineer, you have to be able to communicate with these players. When they tell you, they're not necessarily going to say bar 17. So. You need to be able to know from oral skills what a 6 minor is, and be able to read the chart, follow along, and that's something you can learn. It's not it's not beyond the scope of anything.
Online.
And do it.
But the main thing is practicing the ability to do these things quickly.
Yeah.
And you might want to start a little smaller down the food scale and build your reputation. It can take years to get just the opportunity to play on a big session here. And that's not a bad thing. The guys at the top are there because they're the best of the best, and if you want to knock them off, you just got to be better, and you can't do that just walking in.
Oh yeah.
Well, man, listen.
20 years.
I'm just overwhelmed from being here, and thanks for sharing everything with us. You're a perfect host, as I would expect from being a Southern man. And keep us in the loop. You know, you get something cool, just send it off to us, and
Oh yeah,
we
we will.
Or something. We'll make
Yeah,
sure people.
some little Nashville tricks. We're just honored to have the famous Pensado's place in Nashville. That's.
Thanks.
I mean, it's my lunch date every Thursday. We grab lunch and we sit at the console and watch we rarely can watch a live stream, so we always catch it Thursday and watch the new episode while we're eating lunch and get inspired to try something. That's the big. It's so easy to fall in that rut, but to have you, even if it's a total pop music technique, just to say, what if we try that on this and make you think some and try to push yourself to make better music rather than just it's easy to get presets and get stuck in that routine of using trigger to use your samples on you limit you're done and it's auto. But to be challenged by Dave every week with something else and your guests above all too, just
below
great below you, but Herb is still up here. To me, I mean, Herb. It's like Herb. Yeah,
he always will be. Herb's an inspiration on every level. Well, man,
thanks so much for coming, though.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you soon. By the way. All right. I want to thank Dan Frizsell and his staff for having us and treating us so well and warm today in classic Southern style. Wouldn't have expected anything less. You've picked up a lot of things and from today's show, and one of the things I want you guys to take home is we all stand on somebody's shoulders and give those people that we learn from and who we owe respect and some love. Check on them once in a while, including me, and let us know how you're doing and take it somewhere, and we'll see you here the minute you get your song written and ready to go. Drop by. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye.